Hi, welcome to the video on the quotient of powers property. You will need your workbook, so if you need to get that, pause it and go get your workbook, please. Once you're there, we're going to be on page 211. So I'm going to do the first one with you, and then I want you to try the next ones on your own. So we're asked to write this out in repeated multiplication form. So if we think about what 2 to the 4th means, that means I've got 2 times itself 4 times. And then the second one, 2 to the 2nd, just means I've got 2 times 2. Now, at this point, we can get rid of some of our 2's, cancel them out, because if I have 2 divided by 2, that's 1. And 1 times anything is just itself. So these guys and these guys form 1, and then all I have left is 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 2 to the 2nd power. So that's what we're doing, writing in repeated multiplication form, and then we're writing it as a power. So I want you to pause the video and fill out the rest of it yourself, and then come back so you can check your answers. Go ahead and check your answers against my answers. We're really looking down this final column right here to see if you got the right answer, and if you don't get the right answer over here, you can check my process and see how it compares to yours. Hopefully you noticed a pattern as we were going through, and that the pattern was that you take, if you have the same base, you take the exponent in the numerator and subtract it from the exponent in the denominator. So what that looks like is down here, if I have a to the m over a to the n, I get a to the m minus n. So that's just symbolically saying you subtract your exponents. You subtract the numerator exponent minus the denominator exponent. Okay, so that's all you need your workbook for. Get out your math notebook, pause it if you need some time to do that, and we're going to do just a couple of examples together. And you can continue to write it out in expanded notation if you want to, and sometimes that's helpful, but you can also take the shortcuts if you remember them. So here is example 1. We have t to the 7th over t to the 3rd. And so I'm just going to simplify that. I have the same base, and the exponent is going to be 7 minus 3, which is 4. So t to the 4th power. Okay, example 2. Sometimes we're going to be putting some other things in there besides just division. So we're going to use more than one property at a time. So right here we're going to use the product property, meaning multiplication, and then the quotient property, meaning division. So I'm going to simplify the top first. So if I have 8 to the 7th times 8 to the 4th, that's 8 to the 11th power. And then that's over 8 to the 9th power. So then I'm going to subtract my exponents, and I get 8 to the 2nd power, which is the same thing as 64. So if they ask you to evaluate it and write it as a power, then you're going to have it like 8 squared if it says write as a power. If it just says simplify, then you would take it all the way to 64. Okay, so that's the quotient rule. Write down any questions that you have so we can talk about them in class.